Hello guys, welcome everybody to Mando Monday. This is the series where you guys ask the questions and I, of course, answer them. This can be to do with anything related to Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, CSGO investing, or any current or future update related one, if that's Source 2 and Operation, or something that we all hope is going to be coming to the game very soon, that of course being a brand new case, since the last one that was added was 200 days ago, which is pretty crazy to consider. Now, if you guys have any questions regarding any of that we just discussed, or maybe something very miscellaneous, could be very niche inside CS, could be something in the background, or to do with myself, leave it down below of this comment section or any other one of my videos, ask Mando, and then ask your questions. It's usually easiest and best for me to find it that way. As it goes for today, there's some very big juicy questions as per usual, and a wide variety of different topics, I will say. Pretty much all to do with CS, nothing really with the one-off ones. Some of them being, with investments anyway, Rio, Stockholm, and Antwerp, the future of them. Should you buy in or sell now? If future major stickers like Paris come out and they're a lot better, how is that going to affect older investments and older major stickers? How CSGO is still not dead? What's kept the game alive this entire time? Despite no updates, why is it still around? Why are we gaining popularity in a time where we should be losing players? And much more. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe for weekly CSGO content. And here's a quick word from today's video sponsor, Skins Monkey.
Now today's video sponsor is of course Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
So for what it feels to be the 40th Mando Monday in a row, the Rio Sale is still here. Well, what I mean by that is the past few Mando Mondays, I'd say 10 at this point, I've kept saying the Rio Sale should be removed soon, which it should have been a couple weeks ago, if not longer than that, maybe a month or so. Now the reason it hasn't been removed yet at this point is because of the poor sale. They're going to want to milk everything they possibly can for that capsule price so the loss doesn't look as bad, or at least the revenue they get is a little higher compared to other majors and compared to what it was just a couple months ago. If it stays in the shop, I believe the next 2 or 3 weeks, this is going to be the CSGO's longest major sale, which is pretty crazy to consider. And the fact that it would be the longest and these are the least bought in the past 5 years, that's even more crazy. Now, since Rio might be coming to an end very soon, I want to talk quickly about investments because I've gotten a lot of questions about this. If you don't care, skip ahead to the actual part of Mando Monday. I've talked about recently how CSGO investments specifically for Rio could work out. I talked about how teams like Mouse, Cloud9, maybe something like Fnatic could be pretty decent, especially that Mouse sticker. Now, gold stickers I think are going to be successful either way. It's going to take a very long time though for them to blow up. They're very niche. It's a niche market. It's a completely different market than the holo. Just you have different buyers buying those rather than a regular holo, usually a lot more higher tier. Specifically with the Mouse sticker, because the one from Stockholm is so expensive at this point, pushing that $50 to $60 price point, could it go to 100 very soon? Very likely, yes. If that happens, the Mouse sticker from Rio, for an example, is going to go sky high. Now, will it hold that price? Probably not. Now, the reason for that, the Paris majors in the next 3 to 4 months. The stickers are probably going to come out 3 to 4 weeks before the actual major starts. If the major stickers, which I think they're going to be, look any better than Rio's, the reason behind that, Rio had poor sales. Valve is going to want to get back those people who didn't buy the Rio stickers. Think they're going to look better. Mouse stickers and a whole bunch of Rio stickers are going to crash pretty much everything. That's just my thoughts. A lot of what ifs, but I think that they're also very likely and should be things that we should discuss. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, hopping into the question for today's video. Number 1 is from Henry, and he says, "Hey Luke, have you offloaded any Stockholm stickers? Is there a cutoff price or are you holding for the long term? Also, nice crafts." Thank you for the crafts. Have been making those quite a bit more recently as well. If you guys are unfamiliar with what this guy's talking about, I have quite a few Stockholm stickers. I bought a lot when they were on the sale, bought a lot when these Mouse stickers were $5 to $6 on the Steam market, even on a place like Buff. Have a whole inventory based off of Virtus Pro, Vitality, Copenhagen Flames, even Mouse. But as it goes for offloading these things, I'm not going to anytime soon. I don't really have a cutoff price either. Like, I think if these things spiked maybe one day in the next 3 to 5 years to maybe $5,000 or $6,000 a sticker, specifically for Mouse, if that were to happen, I would probably sell at a point like that. But I don't really care, because even if the Mouse sticker went to $5 to $6 right now, I would break even. If it went to $10 to $20, I'm going to hit a profit. It wouldn't be a lot, but it's still a decent amount compared to at least other years, recent ones anyway. But because I got them for such a cheap price and I actually enjoy having them in my inventory, these actually feel less of an investment, but more so of something like I actually enjoy, if that makes any sense. That's the greatest thing about having a craft and a play skins investment in your CSGO inventory is, yes, it's an investment. In 2 or 3 years, it might be double or triple of what you paid for it, but you play with it every single day, and that's what I enjoy the most out of these things. So no, I don't really have a cutoff price. If it goes really, really expensive one day, that's when I'll probably sell. Our next question up here, more so common, is up here from Trading Cards. He says, "Ask Mando, Stockholm reminds me of a Cato 19 bubble." Now, I get what you're saying, but I have to completely disagree with you respectfully. So if you guys are unfamiliar with what this guy's talking about, a couple days ago, I made a video on on how there was a bunch of Twitter beef going on and how people were comparing the Katowice 2019 Furia holo to the mouse sticker right now. Two completely different things, but the prices in these situations are somewhat similar for some people anyway. The Furia 2019 holo started at a very high point, started going down over time. The mouse sticker started at a low point. It's had it up and downs throughout the entire way it's been out, but they're two completely different things. They released at two completely different times as well inside CS, and that's the most important part of this question and of this situation is timing. Timing is key with everything inside CS. Give you an example. If Rio released in 2017 or 2018, people would be all about Rio stickers. One, the main part about it is the scrapability. The fact that you can scrape these stickers to look borderless is pretty crazy. We would have killed for something like that a few years ago. Now that we got them right after the best two major stickers of all time for some, they're not selling great. They're the worst in the past 5 years, if not the worst selling major stickers of all time. I don't really care much about Antwerp because of its higher supply. I think that's actually more of in a bubble, but Stockholm is so low in quantity, people are actually enjoying these things as well. The reason it took so long for Stockholm to perform, and even Antwerp, right, is the amount of options you've had on the table. It's the exact same reason why Katowice 2015 stickers have not moved in price at all in almost a year. A Titan Holo from 2015, you would think would be sky high expensive out of the blue, but it's actually pretty affordable at just a couple $1,000s. These things were getting a bunch of hype a couple years ago, like summer hype. These were a huge thing, Kato 15 stickers. As soon as we got Stockholm, Antwerp, the boardroom sticker capsule, the 10th anniversary capsule, even things how like the battlefield capsule, there are so many different options on the table now for such an affordable price. That's why they're more successful. And that's why they're more successful than 2019. That's why 2019 went down. All older major stickers went down significantly after Stockholm and Antwerp came out because they were just a better alternative for a lot cheaper. The thing is with Rio right now is you have a lot of options to go with Antwerp, for an example, for a much cheaper price than Rio at the moment, and it looks a lot worse, if that makes any sense. That's my argument. I respect your opinion. That's all I really had to say about it. Now, our next comment up here is actually more of a thread specifically talking about the Chinese player base inside CSGO. I made a video just a couple days ago talking about Chinese New Year, what that means for CSGO, does that rise or drop items specifically in value, and I quickly went over on how much the Chinese player base has an impact on CSGO. I said they take up a very big majority, and if they weren't here today, I think CS would be in a completely different spot. At least the skin prices you're seeing right now would not be here, and also probably half the player count. This guy's asking me why I would believe this. Did you do any research? The answer is yes. And he says the whole Asia region, not only Chinese players, Bailey has 100K. That's less than 10% of the entire CSGO player base at this moment in time. And of course, I reply saying skins are the reason CSGO is still around today. Without them, the game would be how it was back in 2015, 2016, basically hanging on by a limb. And this last guy kind of replies to mine, which I'll quickly go over. A lot of people like to forget that China is run by a communist dictator who dictates what you play, when you play, and how you play, specifically for CSGO. A lot of people can't even play the game without a VPN, and well, that's why you're not seeing a whole lot of Chinese people or a lot of people in Asia regions, let alone other places in the world, online for CSGO. A lot of people are using VPN. And before Chinese CSGO came out in 2018, we were in a pretty bad spot, I would say. Content 1 was pretty dry. We got Danger Zone, sure, but it wasn't that big. Kind of came and gone. Fortnite was still bigger at the time, and the skins market was nothing like it was today. Absolutely none. And the player count was actually still relatively pretty high, but nothing like today either. I would argue and have a rough estimate that Chinese CSGO takes up a 30 to maybe 40% of the population in the game. During the pandemic, when everyone was locked up inside their houses doing nothing, a lot of people turned to CSGO, especially because it was free to play on Steam. What you started to see was the impact by the Chinese inside CS. You started to see all these Kato stickers rise from $5,000 to $10,000 per thing to 50 to almost $100,000 US, and that's why these prices are so high today. The only people that craft big tier items like Katowice 2014 things is because of China. They're the ones doing it. They're the ones rising up those prices. China also has a very large population of 1 billion, pretty insane. They're automatically going to have a big population inside CSGO. That's why unboxing rates are up so much. Chinese TikTok took over for a little bit where people were unboxing cases, and that made people want to do that there. And without them, we'd go back to how it was in 2018, where there was barely any content. Things weren't really too expensive. I mean, there were karambits and butterfly knives, the higher tier ones for under $1,000, and you also wouldn't have buff. People like to forget buff. It's the biggest CSGO marketplace in the world. Most people, most skins, most amount of options on there. Why is that? Because of China. So that's just my answer. That's my opinion. I strongly disagree with yours. Let me know what you guys think down below. I feel like it's more of a situation and scenario we had to be there back in 2017, 2018, even 2015 and 16. Before the gambling days inside CSGO, it really wasn't a big game. Even before that, before skins even came out, CSGO was pretty much much nothing. It had a pro scene, but it was nothing like it was today. And now our next question up here is, let's just call you Magneto. He says, Luke, what's your opinion on the Vinnie Gold from Rio 2022? There are very few in the market, and it's a pretty rare, good-looking sticker in my opinion. So my thoughts with Rio, specifically the gold stickers, like I said, they're very niche. Finding a buyer for this in a few years for the right price is possible, but it's going to be hard. Out of all the things though, I think the gold stickers have one of the best chances to be successful. Maybe not this specific sticker. The reason why, well, you have Antwerp for almost a relatively same price, especially for Vinnie. I would say it also looks better too. It just kind of goes back to the point that this major just has so much competition, and unless you really like a border, it's not going to perform well. Like the Vinnie Hollow from 2022, Antwerp versus this, for an example, is night and day. I think it looks so much better. If you're planning on holding and getting for the right price, it could not be the worst opportunity though. But like I said, it has too much competition. Our next question up here is from the Goody Games. He says, ask Mando, do you think there will ever be a new weapon added? If so, what could it be? So I think they've done what most people have wanted. They've added a MP5 to the game like they had in Source. They added the revolver, but I'd like them to buff the revolver, even though it's not a new gun. I think what I'd like to see is a rival with the Glock. What could that be? I'm not sure. Very similar to how the P2000 has the USPS. USPS came out actually after the P2000. The game launched only with the P2000. And also with the AK-47, I would like a different version of that maybe. Something a little different, could be a little cheaper, could be more expensive, a little more powerful, but you're definitely be paying that price. Very similar to how we have the M4A4 and the M4A1S. Could we get a silenced T-side weapon? Maybe, but I also feel like that would break the entire game and would just be pretty crazy, I would say. It wouldn't just break the game itself mechanically with how pros play and how people play in general, but it would also break the skins market and the skins economy. And that's why I probably wouldn't want something like that added to the game, but rather just some sort of pistol that rivals the Glock, for an example. Pretty crazy to consider. I didn't even think of that though, that the whole market would probably crash if they added a rival AK to the game. But I'd kind of like that too at the exact same time, right? If they were both on par, what everyone's always wanted is you can equip the M4A4 and the A1S at the exact same time. You pick between the two in the game. I wish you could do that right now, but you can't. If you had the option to do that with the AK, that'd be pretty cool though. But probably a rival with the Glock and probably a different version of the AK if that makes any sense. Now our next question up here is from Fanton. He says, do you think Stockholm and Antwerp will crash the market badly when the Paris major comes? So I've talked about this before in a couple commentaries, but I haven't made a whole video on it. I plan on it pretty soon. It's a pretty big discussion because so many people are invested into both. A lot of people have faith in both, including myself, mainly in Stockholm. But the Paris major at this point is going to have, I would like to say almost 100% better stickers than Rio, solely for the reason that Rio stickers sold so poorly. Valve is going to want to make more money, and they can pretty easily, if the stickers are just a little more creative, have less of a background. Some of the concepts I've taken a look at, I think have a very good chance of getting added to the game. Now those are different enough, but also look better than Rio to rival like the 2021 mouse sticker, but would also tank a lot of these Rio investments. Like we talked about at the beginning, that's what I think is going to happen with those. Now as it goes for Stockholm and Antwerp, I think they'll both fall at the very beginning if the stickers come out looking very good. I think Antwerp will get hit a lot harder than Stockholm because there's a lot more circulation of these things. There's a lot more of these things in the market, a larger supply. There's people in OniPixel's chat that have tens of thousands of these capsules in their inventory just waiting, ready to be sold. You don't really see that with Stockholm. It's pretty rare. So for that reason, I think that would go down. And you also have to look why certain things are going up as well. The reason Antwerp is going up so much so quickly, yes, it has the one-off stickers like Cloud9 that we don't have in Stockholm, but it's because Stockholm went up as well. Stockholm firstly went up, then Antwerp followed suit, and much more. But over time, I think Stockholm is going to level out. People are going to realize that Stockholm, and have right now, it's what you're seeing currently, it's such a low supply for how good these stickers look. It was bound to happen for these things to go up in price, and now here we are with the $50 mouse sticker. Are they going to hold? I think so. Now our next question, more so common up here, is discussing a possible crash with Stockholm 2021 investments. He says, I really hope they crash so I can make many crafts with these. He's talking about Stockholm 2021 stickers. I gotta say at this point, we are probably past the days of seeing the $1 Challenger capsules, the $5 to $10 mouse stickers. Even for the lower tier Stockholm stickers, they're all rising. Foil, paper, the champion stickers, and of course hollows. And I don't see these prices really going down anytime soon. There's not really a need or reason for them to, unless the Paris major stickers came out and they look the exact same, which that wouldn't happen. At least I don't think so. But yeah, I don't really see these things crashing anytime soon. Next question up here is from Fresh Off Wish, and he says, ask Mando, do you like sweet potatoes? I would say so. Yeah, I like sweet potato fries too. Sweet potatoes are definitely a lot more healthy than regular potatoes. But yeah, they're all right. Have them every once in a while. What about you guys? Do you guys like sweet potatoes? Now our next question up here is regarding something a lot different that I don't think we've discussed on the channel before. That of course being a skins renting site. How does it work? If you don't return the item, what happens? So for an example, there's a lot of renting skins websites out there now. The most popular one, at least from a few years ago in North America and Europe, was Loot Bear. In China last year during Chinese New Year at the very end, this is what caused a lot of things in the market to go up, like a lot of the lower tier knives, because people wanted to make the best bang for their buck, the cheapest investment with the highest profit. So they're spending the least amount of money possible to make the best bang for their buck. But anyway, this guy says, I don't understand how skins rental sites work. I mean, if someone rents a knife, let's just say for $25 for 5 days, why would he even give it back? And how can they give it back with a 7-day trade hold? So with a lot of these sites, you pretty much have to give them everything you own. Not literally, but you have to give them your pretty much identity. In the United States, you have to give them your social security, you have to give them your credit card, where you live, your full name, sometimes if it's a lot of money, even your passport. Because how this works, they have to give the seller, people who want to have a store on their websites, pretty much a guarantee that if something did happen, look, we'll track down the person, we'll get them to get the money. If we can't have that happen, we'll have to refund you. So they have to have a good service like that, because they'll lose a lot of money, because it would happen a lot if that were to happen. Also, for the most part, these sites are a really good idea in theory, but the problem with it is the selling fee and how much you actually make as a seller. I've had a couple of friends do this in the past. I even tried it in late 2020. You have to spend thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands to make a living off of one of these things. And even then, you have to have people and a lot of traffic through your store every single day renting your skins. So it's pretty hard to do, and it's not the most popular thing in the world, I would say. But yeah, you pretty much have to give them your whole identity, and that's how they'll get their money if you don't pay them back. And our next question up here is from Laser. He says, at the moment, is it the right time to buy a flip knife ruby or a higher tier knife? So very good question, something we haven't really seen on the channel too much as of right now. So if we go take a look at Buff, we'll take a look at the current prices and the price trends the past 6 months, and well, we'll give you a good answer on that. They're around $2,000 on the market, which is a little higher than what they were a little while ago. Nothing too insane though. Right now, you also have to remember, we're in a pretty high inflated market at this point. Things are just overly expensive. Knives specifically have risen so much more than they have been any other year. 2022 is the most profitable year for CSGO knives, whether it was lower tier, higher tier, mid tier, doesn't matter. But something like this definitely saw that. The past 6 months, this thing at its lowest point was $1,600. Now it's $2,000. That's a $400 increase, of course. But if you look at the market, it was growing quite a bit. It still is right now. They hit an all-time high at $2,234. It started to go back down, and would probably be the best time. You don't want to buy up here. You want to buy down here because it's most likely going to maybe go down a little bit more or possibly up quite a bit and then drop back down. That's usually how these kind of markets work and these graphs work, but obviously we can't predict the future. Something I've always said about buying items, whether it's for yourself or an investment, the best thing to do is decide between the two. Now, if you're playing the game on a daily basis and it's your favorite game of all time, like for me and a lot of other people, the reason I have so many skins, especially Stockholm crafts that I'm not selling, is because I play the game all the time. I love them. And if you really like this knife, you really want something higher tier, just buy it. You'll be very happy with it. In the long term, if that's how you're looking at things, the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to go up either way, because right now the market's growing, including the player base, without even any updates. Valve is not talking to us whatsoever. Haven't fixed the cheating situation. We haven't gotten an operation. Yet things are going the complete opposite of where we thought they were a year ago. Let me know what you guys think down below, but that's just my best advice on something like that, I think. You'll just be very happy if you bought in at that point. Now, our last question up here for today's video is about CSGO's next operation, specifically some of the stickers. This guy's talking about the next operation in a way where he says, I expect some copy and pasted ideas for the next operation, like the tier 6 holo, but in a different holo effect and colorway sort of stuff. Maybe a different shape, but you kind of get the point. Kind of like a Stockholm and Antwerp situation. And this guy says underneath, I'll take anything at this point. For the love of God, do not accept this. Do not write a comment like this, because that tells Valve we'll take anything and they'll give us a rehash of Operation Riptide again. No hate there. I don't know why I got a little mad. I'm sorry. Now, the first comment from me, boy, I agree with. I think the next operation probably will be a copy and paste, especially if it's anytime soon. Now, what people are blinded by is the good skins a part of Operation Riptide. But realistically, it was one of CSGO's worst operations we've seen in a very long time. The new battle pass system was really cool. The missions sucked. The skins were cool. The stickers were also amazing. But do you know where they got a lot of these ideas from? Operation Broken Fang. Do you know where they got those ideas from? Operation Shattered Web. All three of those, maybe besides Shattered Web, were very, very similar, pretty much identical, and they got progressively worse each time, especially with co-op missions. Shattered Web had the best co-op missions. Broken Fang had good co-op missions, but not that many. Riptide had absolutely zero. For a multi-billion-dollar company, they should be putting out the best product they can with the amount of time, resources, and money they have. That's the thing. They have almost unlimited money and resources to make something like this, and there's no excuse for us getting some sort of rehash of the last thing. Not a huge fan of that. Part of the reason I think an operation is probably being delayed so much, yes, they're probably working on other things. Maybe they just don't care about it. Yes, if they came out with one right now, it would probably crash the skins market because there'd be so many new skins circulating the economy. People would have those newer ones to go after and they would sell their older ones, if that makes any sense. But the main reason I think it's taking so long is they're probably redoing something, right? They're making it better than Operation Shattered Web. And that's just what I want to believe. Is that true? Not 100%, but I have a good feeling it probably is. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's juicy episode and long episode of Mando Monday. If you guys have any questions for next week's video, leave it down below. If you guys have any video ideas you want me to do separately, make sure to leave those as well. We have some very different topics this week I want to discuss, like the predictions for 2023 prices and much more. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.